Or Bluetooth directly to the board. Skip the adapter right to the harmony.
Getting my exercise running back and forth.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Channing Unitarian Universalist Church. Glad you joined us for worship today. Whoever you are, whatever your theological, spiritual, political, sexual, or racial orientation, or gender identity, you are welcome to worship here and become a part of this community. Do we have any announcements this morning?
May I approach the bench since I don't have a voice?
Yeah, come on up. Just don't lick the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm losing my voice, so this seems easier. On Thursday, we have our meditation hour from 7 to 8 p.m. Mike and Sandy will be leading people in intuitive meditation. Then on Saturday, November 11th at 7 p.m., we have our next coffee house. It'll be the last one. Take a little break over the winter, then we'll be back in the spring. If anybody would like to volunteer or drop off some baked goods, please let me know. Then on November 15th, we have our book club meeting. We canceled last month, so we're going to have that discussion this month. So if you haven't read the book yet, there's still time. The book is Changing the World from the Inside Out, a Jewish approach to personal and social change, very apropos for today. Then on November 18th, we have our holiday fair. Irina's and Donna are not here, but if you wish to participate or volunteer, next time you see them, please let them know. And then on November 25th, the holiday stroll is happening up on Union Street here in town. We're gonna have our doors open that night with the fire in the fireplace. We're gonna have food, so we're always looking for people to volunteer for that, or just stop in and get warm when it's cold out. Unfortunately, the Steve family will not be here for that. Oh, one more. So for those of you who are Rockland residents, this Tuesday, November 7th at 7 p.m. at the high school, there's a special town meeting. The select board is hoping to get at least 400 residents present to vote on a number of things. You can see more online. They're also offering free child care for ages kindergarten and up. So please come out and listen to what they have to say and listen. Yes, you have to register in advance for the child care. You can do that on rocklandrec.org.com. Rocklandrec. Thank you.
Is this still, is this still, do I announce this?
November, yeah, sorry, I didn't see Aaron's note. There's a birthday card on the coffee hour table for Phil Steve's birthday, it was a couple days ago. So anybody would like to sign that, please, and then when he's here next week, we can get it.
Are there any other announcements? Well, then, at this time, I will welcome to the podium our affiliated minister, special friend, and our guiding light for the past 2 years, Reverend Judy Campbell.
And I want to introduce the most wonderful people I have met in the last, maybe forever. Maya and Jesse. Maya and Ruby, would you stand up and just wave at folks? And Jesse, Alper, and Leah, do you feel comfortable with these people? She's back there with you. They come here. Maya was born in Israel. Jesse, you were born in Plymouth, weren't you?
Jordan Hospital.
There you go. And you'll learn a lot more about that later on. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of the Holy, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in good times or in tempests, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. And those words were written by Howard Thurman, an African-American Baptist theologian and preacher, much beloved by the Unitarians. And we use his words a lot. And some say he would have preferred to be a UU, but way back in the 20s when he was active, we weren't UU yet. So, but Howard Thurman's words are absolutely timeless. Here, would you lead us in lighting the silence?
It's behind the flowers, under the red.
Please stand as you're willing and able to the lighting of the chalice. Recite with me the words found in the order of service. Kindling this flame of our liberal heritage, let us open to the presence of the sacred. And now the affirmation, please. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Please remain standing as we sing hymn number 407. We're going to sit at the welcome table.
Oh, this is on. Apparently, you expect me to sing today.
I'm gonna sing to him today, and I told Maddie to cut loose if she wanted.
All right, someone remind me to change that. If you haven't had coffee yet, this is your coffee.
I would like the children to come up and sit in the front row, because I have something in my basket. Sit in the front row. Come up here. What do you consider loving? This is my storytelling class. And Dot with the red sparkle shoes and Judy with the red sparkle shoes. Dot loves my storytelling. And I have things in here that help me tell stories. What's that? I can't hear you. Socks. Here are socks. What's that? Yarn. Yarn. What's that? Hammer. What does that have to do with church? Socks, a hammer, and a ball of yarn.
Knitting.
Glad you asked. Knitting us all together, yes, reading us all together. Okay. We have some guests in church this morning. We have Maya, and we have Jessie, just wave. And we have Maya and Jessie's daughter, and you waved before. And they've come a long, long way to be here. They've come from Israel. When they got here, I didn't know they were here. In fact, I didn't know them. But they and I have a mutual friend. A couple whose lives have intertwined with mine for maybe 40 years. Really important. They're Jewish, and I made the bar and bat mitzvah cakes for their 2 children, and I married their son. Frima lighted the chalice and said a blessing in Hebrew, my ordination. We go way back. So Frima called me and she said, these friends of my friends have come here from Israel and she needs a piano. And I said, do they need winter coats? She said, no, Judy, she needs a piano. Oh, do they have enough food? Yes, Judy, she needs a piano. Oh, goodness, do they have rides? They have a car. It's like, if your friend comes to you, or your auntie comes to your door and you want supper, do you give them a hammer? You give them supper. And if somebody wants to sleepy and they want to take a nap, do you give them a pair of socks? No, you take them to the bed, right? Show them the bed, or couch, where they can lay down, give them a blanket. If somebody's running around in the rain and they're getting wet, do you hand them a ball of yarn? Somebody is lonely, and they don't know who to talk to, do you give them an elephant? You give them your hand, and you sit and you listen to them. And that's what this is all about. When I finally shut up and listened to my friend Frima, I said, a piano I can get you. And I had a couple of sources. You folks would have been the next. Trust me, you would have been. But I had one a little closer. The church that I attend frequently in Kingston, I'm a community minister there, has a big, beautiful piano in a lovely space like this with beautiful acoustics. And they said, yes, welcome, come hither. Gave her a key, showed her where the heat was, and said, have at it. That's how you help people who need help. Because we all need help sometimes. You listen. You don't tell them what they need or what you think they need. You listen. What do you need? Do you need someone to listen to you? Do you need a friend? Do you need a hug? Do you not need a hug? That's important. Well, one of the things that Maya does is she writes music and she sings. Maya, would you tell me and the kids a little bit, do you mind coming up here? And say a little bit about the kind of prayer songs you sing and why you sing them?
So,
You're gonna have a lot of voice or I'll speak in here, so
no,
talk to
you
that
hear me?
little.
That's cool.
Yeah, project.
So shalom is Hebrew for hello and peace. And I sing prayers that connect me to God, right? Like it connects every person to God. Every person can connect to God. So the prayers I compose and I sing are prayers that help me bring my attention to this connection that I have. And after I pray, I always feel connected to everyone around me. Because I know everyone is connected to God and I am connected to God. So we're all connected, right? Yeah. So this is what I say.
And you couldn't have said it more perfectly because one of the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism is, I'll probably say it wrong, but the interconnected web of all existence, of which we are. So would you sing us one of your songs and tell us about the song you're singing?
Sure, I'll sing you,
It's in your order of service, folks.
Elohai.
Elohai.
Elohai. So Elohai means my God. And this prayer is asking God to send us its light and its truth to guide us. Right? So when we bring our attention inward and we really, really breathe and focus, we can find what feels right. It feels like the right thing to do, or the right way to go. So this is a prayer for God to see its light. God sees everything, right? God is, we're connected to God. So to follow the light and to follow the truth. And when we do that, we find joy. That's what the text says. Send your lights and your truth. Send your light and your truth. They will guide me, lead me, and bring me, and I will follow to the God of my exceeding joy. Exceeding joy, like really, really, being really, really happy. And then it says, and after I feel that, or when I feel that, I also give thanks. I say, thank you. I'm so happy to be able to feel this connected and so much joy. So you're welcome to, if you want, to close your eyes and bring your attention inward.
Thank you, my love. And now, beloved children, you can go off to religious education, and you can go with them, or you can stay here. Where, you know, they're gonna make things and do things and have fun. If you wanna stay here, go try it out and then come back, you can come back. Stay here? That's okay. I like having you here. Rick, would you please turn to the, Joyce concerns first. Now is the time in our order of service where we share the joys and concerns we hold in our hearts with our beloved community. Because joy shared is joy doubled, and sorrow shared is sorrow halved. So now is the time to speak loudly so these old ears can hear you, and Rick will light a candle. And I want the first candle. Reverend Judy is on baby watch. Our first great-granddaughter is due any minute. Official due date is November 6th, but we all know time comes, baby comes. But 2 weeks before to 2 weeks after is the standard. And so we know it's a little girl, and it's been a beautiful pregnancy, and it's a beautiful family. Who else has a joy or concern they'd like to share?
I have two. They're related. We saw a huge influx of donations come in last week and this week for our emergency shelter. So that's just absolutely amazing how much people have contributed. We also, at the same time, launched our sharing shed, and it's already over full, and we already need a new shed. So I'm just very grateful for everybody who's contributed.
I want everybody, can you repeat that?
So, the first one was for the outpouring of support from the town of Rockland and also some of the surrounding community, for our collection for people who come in. And then the second one was for Sharing Shed, which has also been embraced by the town of Rockland and is currently bursting at its little plastic seams. Probably gonna look for another shed soon.
Anything else? Any other joys? Danny?
Something from the past, in the recent Beauty World that came out, I saw that Reverend James Taylor, he passed away. He was 90, I think he was 90 in there, but he was minister here from 1954 to 1958.
Was he the man that was here that I met?
All of them.
No, that's.
If there are no others spoken, we'd like one more candle for the joys and sorrows and concerns that we hold in our hearts. And would you remain seated, please, and open your hymn books to hymn, responsive greeting 634 in the back of your hymn book.
I've learned, I started marking readings versus hymns.
Oh, you're getting professional.
Started actually reading this thing. Well, no, you all have.
You lead, you lead the congregation, and I'll speak first. It's called On Turning, and it's written by Jack Creamer. Now is the time for turning.
The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange.
The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more toward the south.
The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter.
The leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively.
But for us, turning does not come so easily.
It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits.
It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy.
I'm going to stick another word in here. It sometimes means losing face. It sometimes means starting all over again. And that's always meaningful.
It means saying, I am sorry.
It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are hard to do.
But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways.
God, Holy One of all understanding, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith.
Turn us around, O God, and bring us back toward you.
Revive our lives as at the beginning.
And turn us toward each other, God, for in isolation there is no life.
Can we say that one more time all together? And turn us toward each other. For in isolation there is no life. And I want to, but this uses a lot of God language, and not all of us are comfortable with God language. So I invite you to use whatever word you are comfortable with in that setting. Sometimes it's higher power, sometimes it's the universe, Holy One of all knowing. I don't want to inflict God talk on you if it's not your comfortable place. May we enter into a time of communal silence, carrying our joys and concerns, our hopes, our aspirations, into our shared silence. Ready? Hymn 123. the mission and the purpose of this congregation.
We will be taking 2 offerings today. The first is for Channing Church and our ministries and community service. The second will be for International Red Cross to support their efforts for both Israeli and Gaza civilians right
We'll do one, talk it off.
So this
Do
first
the
one
other.
is for Channing.
Yes.
This is for Channing.
This one is for the International Red Cross.
Please stand as you're willing and able for the dedication of gifts. The words are found in the order of service, starting with Spirit of Truth.
Please be seated. I've asked Rick to play something, a piece of music called Would Your Harbor Me? And I think it was put out in the 70s by Sweet Honey in the Rock. The words are in your order of service. The tune is very simple. If you feel called to sing along with it, please do. It's easy, you can harmonize along with it, but it seems to be the brightest possible thing I can bring to this time together. Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor every struggle was not you? Our heretic side. Would you harbor my love
Will you harbor and exile our refugee, our person living with AIDS? Will you harbor and torment again of truth, a fugitive for a slave? Will you harbor a Haitian glory and merchant, a lesbian or a gay? Will you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic from Hindus side? Will you harbor a runaway woman, a child? Will you harbor an exile or a refugee, a person living with AIDS? Will you harbor a tormentor again of truth, a fugitive or a slave? Will you harbor a Haitian glory and merchant, a lesbian or a gay? Will you harbor
Thank you so much, Rick. Every time I listen to those words, I think more about who do we harbor, who do we care for, who do we take care of, who do we care for? And before I start my official words, I want to brag on you a little bit. Some of you I've already told this to, but earlier this week I was in a conference for retired ministers, 3-day conference, and in the small breakout groups we were talking about what we were doing. And I have to tell you, I could not say enough about you and how you are grabbing onto your ministry in the most positive, inclusive way, reaching out into a community that isn't always welcome, taking a stand anyway, and doing it. I am so stinking proud of you. Anyway. And I think it's very apropos, sadly apropos, that your front hall is full of necessary items for our homeless population, our unhoused population, and refugee population. In Kingston, we had a number of Haitians dumped in a nearby motel, and the churches got together, and we started it, and I think Reverend Emily made a mistake, not a mistake really, but she sort of didn't limit it. She put it out on public media. We're collecting these things. Can you help us? And we basically needed a cargo container. We had so much stuff, and what the Haitian people couldn't use, we sent to homeless shelters around. And now the same thing is happening here. And I know that the housing of refugee people, people seeking refuge, and homeless people, and immigrant people are not always welcome in any community. But they're the unheard voices. And you two are here, you all are hearing it. And the Yiddish word is kvel, Kvell, swelling with pride. I felt when I think of this. The script. Why do so many people find immigrants threatening? Because we don't understand them. It's in our human nature to fear or distrust that which we do not understand, and to isolate that which we fear. In jails, ghettos, reservations, in the Jewish quarter, Little Italy, Chinatown. Of course, we humans do tend to seek safety and comfort of our own kind. But self-selection is one thing. Marginalizing and ghettoizing is another thing entirely. Whether the threat is true or imagined, immigrants might sometimes be perceived as threatening in a number of ways. And we've all heard the rhetoric around here and across this country. But I found it interesting. I was looking for an article and I found it online from Psychology Today, a study that was done in Germany. Landman and colleagues in Germany conducted a series of 4 related studies to examine hostility towards immigrants. They found a number of common reasons for problem. See if they sound familiar. A symbolic threat to that the migrant's culture and religion would be a threat to one's own way of life. Haitians all practice voodoo, and they will curse us. Realistic threat, job availability and pay. They, always they are taking our jobs. Not so. The whole country is staffed right now. We need them. We need, not them, we need these people. I'm sorry. A safety threat. The threat of immigrants committing crimes. They're all murderous thugs who will rape our women and kidnap our children. You've heard it. You've heard it on television. No. A broader threat, the social functioning or the creation of ghettos. They will move in and our property values will plummet. How many of you heard that? They will abuse, oh, I love this one. They said this to my husband when he was coming here from England to get his green card. One of the guys said, yeah, you're gonna get your green card and then you're gonna go on Medicare, aren't you? Chris tells the story and he says, I'm really glad you were sick that day because you would have torn the guy apart. I was very angry. They're only coming here for a free ride. The prejudice threat, the potential rise of racist and right-wing views. We don't need immigrants to help us with that. It's happening all on its own. While the first 3 threats might be considered as direct threats, the other 2 are extended threats. For example, a person who fears he or she might catch a deadly disease from immigrants is reacting to a direct threat. I might get sick from these people. But a person who fears negative changes in politics of the country, that's a broader threat. That's sort of an unnamed, I can't quite say, I could get sick, but something's going to change. And the basic fear is change. The fear of the increasing cost of dealing with the imagined violence or illness, or funding to increase police presence. These are indirect threats that people will throw at us. So how can we reduce the perceptions of different types of threats associated with refugees and immigrants, newcomers to our shore? Here are some suggestions. To understand the real effects of migration on us and our country, we must rely on data, not economic indicators in crime rates, not ideology, not imagination. We need to demystify the people that come to us, learn their cultural practices so they appear less threatening. In addition, they become more enriching. We should remember that foreigners' culture will change, particularly with intergroup contact, and their culture will increase ours and enrich ours. This will happen through education, through understanding, and safe, direct, one-on-one interface and communication. And I keep looking over at Maya, because you and I talked about if you could talk to one person at a time, sing to one person at a time. If you're gonna hear some more of the people will be the loser. But this is her ministry. This is her priesthood. Since anger and hostility towards refugees might be related to the perception of personal feelings and injustice as well, we need to address those feelings of injustice and not dismiss them. Address them. Don't say, don't feel that way. That's crazy. Say, I understand you feel anxious. I understand you feel nervous about all these people that you don't particularly know. Let's get to know them. Let's get to know them. That's what you do. You don't need this. We need to work towards a greater understanding of ourselves and our guests, and not simply dismissing them out of hand, or worse, shaming people for having these feelings. How can you possibly think that? I thought you were Unitarian universalists. We all have feelings of anxiety around a new situation, new people, new language. Think about these poor folks. Too many will try and dismiss the whole thing by saying, it's too complicated. That's the easy way out, I think. I can do complicated, especially if I take the time to meet with, to speak with, break bread with, and listen to a friend I don't know yet, one soul at a time. And that's exactly what happened here. When Maya and her family got to know me and my husband, one smile, one hug, lots of stories, and time spent understanding and honoring our shared vision. So, my lovely lady, will you tell us a bit about your ministry? And I want you to do it up here to the microphone. And then a few words on that, and then please sing us some songs. Tell us what you're going to sing. Thank you.
I hear your words, and I'm so, I'm so moved and I'm so touched, and I didn't want to participate in that candlelight because I wasn't sure if it was appropriate. In my heart, I thought it was, but a great joy of mine is to be here and to see and experience again how good people are and how we open our hearts. You know, separation just falls down. Separation is an illusion, and what you're talking about, the other, that is different. When I was a student, I studied music in Oklahoma City University, from all places in the world, I moved from Tel Aviv, a Jewish Israeli girl, moved to Oklahoma City, the Bible Belt bucket, I believe they call it, right? And doing what I do, I sang the prayers, but I didn't want to go and sing them in temples and synagogues. I wanted to go to the world I didn't know. And I went to sing in churches. So I would come and just offer special music, special prayer for Israel, and teach them a little bit about what I'm saying, so they're not that intimidated. And the common ground there was God, basically. Religious faith to one degree or another. My personal experience of the word God and of the concept of faith is I don't use usually the word religion for myself. I see the spirituality as something that is more open for me, because in Israel, religion represents somewhat of separation. That's how I experienced that term. Okay? So I'm talking about spirituality. And so I started to travel, from home and sing prayers in different churches, like yours, and very different ones from Catholic. I shared with Judith that on one Sunday morning, I sang a prayer, a Hebrew prayer for the Angels of Peace in a Catholic church. We opened the Mass, a Catholic Mass, and then I ran to the Chabad Center to hear the Shabbat, because it was their Rosh Hashanah. But that's the life of the Universalists, right? I mean, we're citizens of this world, and this world is not just, there's not just one type of person here, thank God. And that's the beauty of it. And so, after 5 years of doing that and going to churches and in Muslim communities, one of the things I had the opportunity to do in Oklahoma was to find Muslim friends. In Israel, we're not your friends, unfortunately. Where we live today, they are. We live in the Galilee. It's a part of Israel with its coexistence of Jewish and Muslim and Christian Arab population, and we're having a blast together. The wars that are happening are not happening between the neighborhoods down there. But when I came to Oklahoma, there wasn't an opportunity to do that. And so I met Muslim friends and I met Muslim musicians. And when I went to the graduate program, my thesis was composing a prayer which was Jewish and Muslim. And we actually got this prayer it was commissioned by the Society for Universal Sacred Music. And we got to perform this prayer in the Lincoln Center. We prayed together. It was a text from the Jewish High Holidays prayer book. And the guy I prayed with adapted it to Arabic, and we stood there and we prayed together with, the Holy of Holies with those of us who are really religious. So we saw how bridges happen. It's not just a concept that we can get along if we get to know each other. It's the reality of it. And after 5 years of traveling, and these travels brought me also to Jordan, really heavy place with anti-Israel and a big Palestinian population there. And I promised that I will go to Jordan and I will sing a Jewish prayer there in Hebrew, And there was a lot, you mentioned fear when you talked, yeah. How do you do that? How do you first address your own fear, before you try to connect with someone? Because at the end, this is where it starts, this is where it ends, in our own fear, just like you said so beautifully. So all that long story is to tell you that after 5 years of doing that, I ended up going to Jordan and singing in the middle of an old city there. And I saw men coming, with their traditional clothing and staring at a woman singing. It's completely not something you see over there. But there was nothing hostile about it. It was curiosity, and somewhat surprised, I guess they were. But there was nothing hostile. And every time I dared to go beyond what I thought was possible, I saw how much fear and separation is an illusion. It's not real. It's not the reality of it. And so after 5 years, I came back to Israel, and someone asked me, so you traveled to so many places, and we used to stay, when we would go to churches, we used to stay in people's homes, and hang, spend time with them for the weekend, and then go with them to church, and I would bring people first. And he asked me, what did you learn after 5 years of going to so many places? Some of these people never met a Jew. I remember people coming to me and saying, are you a real Jew? As if they're like a species, Are you a real Jew? And I said, yes, I am. Totally real. But he asked me, my friend, what did you learn from that? And I said, after seeing all these people, I saw that everyone has one thing in common. They all want to be happy and experience joy, and they're scared to die. Basically, this is what I saw. They all wanted to live happily, and they all didn't want to die. And you mentioned the fear of change. We experience change or difference as a little death of a part of ourselves, right? When our beliefs are threatened or challenged, if you will. We're scared to let go. But this is the beauty, that when you're not scared, when you're feeling home, just like you guys are doing here, and that's why you're so open and allowing. And the gratitude I wanted to share, or the joy when you lit candles, was thank you for welcoming us this way. You have no idea what it's like to come to for me, it's a foreign country, though my husband, my daughter are citizens. For me, it's in a place for the three of us, and to be welcome, just by the warmth of the eyes and the smiles and the kindness. It just reminds you what life is about and how beautiful it can be. So that was a very long explanation for whatever. Oh, I'll go sing now, and they have the text.
Yeah, the text.
So you're welcome. When we work with the songs, I always invite people to take deep breaths. Inhale from your nose, exhale through your mouth inside. Just close your eyes and let these texts and music enter and work with you from Shir Amaro Meshuv Adonai Lechiva Tion Hayinu B'choli Ah
Thank you, Tom. We're going to run a little bit over today, but we started a little bit late today. Don't go anywhere. This is to you. I cannot. This has to go on. So thank you for your indulgence. So no song?
I have, oh, no, the same one, but I think it took.
Well, I can. We have one more for you to sing.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, that's probably good. Oh, gracious. We have a closing hymn. And then I will sing for you. Hymn number 168, One More Step. Again, I hope you look at the words of these songs because they have been carefully chosen to support the theme of today's message. Amen. Please stand if you're willing and able. Please be seated. I'm gonna switch things around a little bit. I'm going to say a benediction and ask you to come extinguish the chalice, and then I will sing a benediction for us. It is written in the Torah, I call heaven and earth to witness today that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live. We're just going to extinguish our chalice and take us.
Please stand as you are willing and able and recite with me the words found in the order of service for extinguishing the chalice. Sorry, wait for my.
I'm not sure where the smaller one is.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth,
or the door of the community,
or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Please be seated.
Divine, open my lips, and I will speak your praise. Create a pure heart for me, and a willing spirit.
Blessed be. Go in peace.
Amen.